All you fucking losers in the chat like, oh, Zach's just mad because he doesn't get more views. Fuck you, moron. All of you are ungrateful, sorry, dick-sucking pieces of shit that deserve what's coming. R.I.P. to Jeff C. He's died since. One less cocksucker in the world.
Again, you know, for the people in the chat just saying that decoding with Cody is a good decoder, you literally have shit for brains.
Not a good decoder.
Nope.
That's probably time to retire. I feel like Derek gave birth to all the wackadoodle decoders. Yeah, right, the Matrix. Again, it always seemed weird that he was part of the community because he never helped out the work. And, I mean, I don't want to make fun of him, but he is kind of like fucking retarded. Fuck you, Cuts. You don't need to be breathing. You're a worthless piece of shit. There are a lot of worthless, sorry pieces of shit like you that don't need to exist. Like, people try to make Hitler the bad guy. I mean, I don't think I've heard a world leader in my lifetime say anything more logical than supposedly what Hitler's so bad about. Why would I support you, Zach? You're an asshole. Fuck you, loser. How are there way less people supporting the work now than back then? Everyone who fell off this work and doesn't support anymore, as far as I'm concerned, is a sorry-ass motherfucker. You're a fucking retard, sir. All of you guys who try to attack and frustrate me are worthless pieces of shit. And by the way, fuck you to the fucking retards who left my Patreon this weekend. Literally, fuck all of you too. I know Angel Baby, who's an agent who I think poisoned me when she came out to Buffalo with her big fat ass when I asked her not to. Zach, I'm drinking my piss. My mom watches too much bullshit. In my opinion, if you listen to Jake the Asshole, you're probably a fucking loser. This is the guy who runs the Sports Gematria channel. This guy literally deserves to have his head rolled off his shoulders. She didn't come out there because she really cared about Gematria. She came out there because she thought I was cute. Like, don't pretend to be about Gematria because you want to get in somebody's pants. That's not right. Losers like Joseph Living Waters. That's a person who, you know, their body should be decomposing 6 feet underground.
You say the dumbest shit. Like, I gotta say that.
I do? Joey, get a clue, Joey. Nobody likes your decodes. This morning he's, you know, calling me a fraud and a shill, and he's gloating that he's registered Wake the Fuck Up Radio on all these platforms, so I can't do it.
Welcome back, Truth Seeker.
It's been a minute since we hit a Daytona 500 future, to be perfectly honest, but it doesn't mean we're going to stop from trying this year. But again, I think the big storyline here is it's going to be the third race on February 18th since Dale Earnhardt's death on February 18th. The other parallel, Dale Earnhardt won with Richard Childress Racing 3 years before his death. And then since his death, the races on February 18th have been won by Richard Childress Racing. You have two drivers in this race for Richard Childress Racing, and they are Austin Dillon and Kyle Busch. Dale Earnhardt is ranked 8th all-time in Cup Series wins with 76. Like, this is going to be the 76th NASCAR season. And Kyle Busch, who's in the 8 car, his next Cup Series win is 64, which, of course, has a square root of 8. And we just know what the Chiefs did in their 64th season. And, again, his brother, from his brother's win, Kurt Busch, to Kyle Busch, if he won this year, it would be a span of 8 years or 8 races. I really love what I see for Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon just because they're on the right team with the right numbers. But we're really making a long list here for Kyle Busch. Now, Denny Hamlin is the only guy who could win his 4th Daytona 500, and we did just see the Chiefs win their 4th Super Bowl. Denny Hamlin won in 2020, so he'd win his 4th 4 years later. The Chiefs won in 2020, of course. Okay, so Denny Hamlin is 43 years old right now, which is interesting because NASCAR's 43, Florida's 43, football's 43. We all know what Brady did at age 43. I mean, I definitely got to have at least a dollar parlay on Jimmy Johnson at 60-1. But what I'm seeing from numbers and narrative and where odds are and what makes sense, Hamlin and Kyle Busch, I think, are my two favorite narratives. Austin Dillon's isn't bad either because he's got the same thing, just not as good of numbers as Kyle Busch. You could also say today is the 229th day of George W. Bush's age. That's the 50th prime number. Bush equals 50. It's the 50th day of the year. In light of this being the first race of the 76th NASCAR season, remember George W. Bush has a July 6th birthday, 7-6. Skull and Bones equals 76. The Georgia Guidestones came down on his 76th birthday. Kyle Busch, closest name to George W. Bush by far, had the race gone off February 18th, I would have said that I did say the other day that I thought he had the top narrative. He just had the Chevrolet car like Earnhardt. He had the Richard Childress Racing like Earnhardt. And by the way, I noticed that Kyle Busch joined Richard Childress Racing just for this season. Again, his narrative is definitely still interesting. But to me, if I could only take one driver, I'd have to go with Hamlin, just because he's going for the fourth win. Like the fourth Super Bowl was won, and he's on Joe Gibbs Racing. Joe Biden's the president, and the Cale Yarborough death was the most recent big NASCAR death. It was 43 days after Hamlin's 43rd birthday, and Cale Yarborough won 4 Daytona 500s, and he won his 4th on February 19th. Again, the last time the race got moved to President's Day was 2020. And Hamlin won on that day. Hamlin's won on the last two. Hamlin's won the last 2 Daytona 500s in election years, 2016 and 2020, and he could do it again in 2024 for his 4th all time. He also won in 2019, and here we are on the 19th. But yeah, I'd say if I had to fill out the chat, I think people's second favorite narrative, or maybe even favorite narrative, is Stenhouse going back to back, who won it last year. One caller said there's only one driver in the race named Joe, and that's Joey Logano at age 33, going for his 33rd Cup Series win. Also just very surface level. I have 2 favorite long shots, Jimmy Johnson and David Reagan. Both pay 60 to 1. And yeah, the big question is how much does 218 matter now that the race has been moved to 219? So Kyle Busch had a really great narrative for 218. He does have the Bush last name. It does seem that there's a connection with George W. Bush today. They do spell it differently, but it's still Bush. And we know how they like to sync things up with the Bushes time and time again.
Drum roll!
1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank, and away they go. That is Cindric into Chastain and up into traffic. And the Daytona 500.
Race winner will be the 24. We'll need the 24 to the start-finish line.
Goes to victory lane, William Byron.
How about shut the fuck up, morons? I'm not wrong about anything. And then he's always doing his false math for how much money you would have lost, which is total BS. Congrats to the winners.
Yeah, we hit the bookie nice.
Anyone who leaves a comment like, you lose way more than you win with Gematria. Only if you're retarded, literally. Only if you're retarded are you losing more with this knowledge than winning. I'm going to start calling myself a fucking retard, too. Again, Daytona 500 is very hard to call, but we looked at a number of narratives that made a lot of sense, and this was one, especially if it got rained out. So, Pronu brought home a little prize today. Congrats to the winners.
Congrats to the winners? How can you say congrats to the winners? How can you even say that? But
all these people think Donald Trump is Mr. America. No, he's not. He's Mr. My mail order brides from the Far East. I'm all about censorship.
You're really just talking about yourself.
Just like how yesterday in the Daytona 500, the 24 cars steals the show for Hendrick Motorsports on their 40th anniversary after the race was delayed to Hendrick Motorsports' 40th anniversary because of rain. And we talked about how that could be a sign for that driver. There were a handful of drivers we really liked who had a narrative, and he was one of them. Joe Rogan predicts. Why don't they cover my predictions? They've been a lot better than anybody's.
Before, like, I was just like, I guess you could say a mindless drone. Like, I wouldn't pay attention to anything. I wouldn't watch TV. I was just in my own world. Now, like, since your work, I'm glued to the news, like, seeing what is being done by the rituals, because I want to be in the loop now, like, to see what it is that they're doing.
Yet another example of Zach's work sucking people back into the matrix. That guy is now watching the news religiously. I thought the point was to get people to turn off the news. If you know the news is BS, why are you still watching it and giving them ratings?
All you fucking losers in the chat like, oh, Zach's just mad because he doesn't get more views. Fuck you, moron. I'm mad that more people aren't receiving the work, you sorry fucking piece of shit. All of you are ungrateful, sorry, dick-sucking pieces of shit that deserve what's coming. That's what I want you to know, sorry motherfuckers.
You can't control your emotions. Weak man.
A call for an uprising. Like, how many fucking losers out there watched that guy's video? He came out of nowhere. Overnight, he has 100,000 subs. He has some big fancy cartoon to start it. As soon as he gets here, he starts targeting me. And if you never missed the debate from 2016 between me, him, and Jeff C., those two were trying to team up on me. R.I.P. to Jeff C. He's died since. One less cocksucker in the world. The guy's a real fucking piece of shit. All right, what is it, Joey?
Yo, remember when the FDA approved the first condom for anal sex and 252?
Did they? Okay, I gotta go. I'm glad you brought this one back up.
Thanks to your article from 2 years ago, I remember it. I seen Baylor's coach. This helped me call a game today, and it's an undeniable example.
This ought to be good.
So I noticed Baylor's coach, he could get his 252nd loss today. And I said, 252 is a Sodom and Gomorrah number. And God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. God equals 55. Today's the 55th day of the year. He's going to get his 252nd loss on the 55th day of the year. He did. But just for like the cherry on top, biblical equals 50. The coach's last name is Drew. Drew equals 50, and today has 50 date numerology. Anyone fucking denying this shit, they are literally doing these fucking riddles. Undeniable.
All right, thanks, Joey. Again, you guys, the reason I titled this video, Stupid People Shouldn't Use Gematria, is because stupid people should not use Gematria. Look, oh my God, man. Joey's decodes just kill me. Oh my God. And like Itachi sees too. Like Itachi went to NYU. Joey lives at home with his mom. I talk shit. Yeah, the other team could have gone 25-2 as well. It's just every time I feel like Joey's trolling every time he calls in. I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? I'm glad you brought up the condom thing, but then like that decode, I mean, fuck no. God. Yeah, at least he didn't connect it to Cam Newton. Right. And again, the thing is, Joey, the problem with your calls is they almost always sound wackadoodle. There's usually an element where you start where it's good, but then after like the first sentence, it goes into wackadoodle land, or it just sounds like total bullshit land. And the thing is, I just always use my sister as the example. If my sister was watching the video, she'd be like, see, those are the kind of people who follow Zach. Like, you can tell that guy's a weirdo.
Again, you know, for the people in the chat just saying that decoding with Cody is a good decoder, you literally have shit for brains.
He's not. If he was a good decoder, he'd have a correct prediction. He's like 0 for 100 in predictions I've seen.
Yeah,
0
exactly.
for 100. That's not a good decoder.
Nope.
That's probably time to retire. These people who create the division, which is not me, people can accuse me of creating the division. I haven't started anything with anybody in this community. That's the thing about Derek, too. Derek came on, like so many people, and acted like he was a friend of the community and was helpful and built the calculator. And then he was essentially emulating the formula I put down, and I liked his work back then. I did. But then all of a sudden, he found all these new ciphers, and then every decode was like 50 different ciphers, and then Chris Cornell died, and I showed how it was synced with the solar eclipse coming that year, and then he started connecting everything to an eclipse. I feel like Derek gave birth to all the wackadoodle decoders.
Zach wants all the credit for people teaching Gematria, so using his rationale, he's actually the one who gave birth to all the wackadoodle decoders.
Like, again, my sister thought I was paranoid, but I felt that I was having incidences in the public space where people were following me and keeping an eye on me in the early days of doing this. And honestly, from the outside looking in, it looks like mental illness. Like, this is not a false story. There was a day when I was in the grocery store and this guy was just following, just going aisle to aisle with me. He wasn't getting anything. And I just noticed, I was like, okay, he's following me through the whole store. Like, what the hell? Is there anything certifiable about you? Is there any kind of diagnosis? Is there something we should know about you? I just wonder. So it's like, what is this? Some kind of intimidation tactic? Why is this guy just walking everywhere I'm walking? He just stayed in the store the whole time I was there. I leave, he leaves. I was just like, okay, this never happened to me before. Like, again, my sister thought I was paranoid, but
She might be onto something there, bro.
yeah, right. The Matrix, again, it always seemed weird that he was part of the community because he never helped out the work. And I mean, I don't want to make fun of him, but he is kind of like fucking retarded. I talk shit. But again, the reason I allowed him to hang around is because he was a generous donor.
It's for this. And this is what it's become.
I mean, we don't have a lot of those, but I had to get rid of him because it was obvious that he was a snake in the grass. And
Bullshit.
This is the reason also why I'm not pounding pavement, because I have more like weirdos and agents showing up than actual human beings. And that's a problem.
That's funny because for the last 6 months he's been telling people the reason he isn't traveling is because Sweet Lady is mad the support is down, and other times he said she's afraid to be alone. It's almost like he's just making up BS excuses to not travel, which allow him to keep all the money for himself, like he's been doing since 2018.
You're a little worthless piece of shit, Cuts, and I wouldn't be so mean, but you brought it on yourself. I mean, you are a gas station attendant.
If you work at a gas station like Dan Barrett, who was another brilliant Gematria teacher, then you'd be a loser, according to Zach. So it sounds to me like he hates anybody who just ever had a real job.
Guys, he does work at a gas station. He even broadcasts from the gas station. Low-life fucking loser. They let him keep the job. Because it's hard to find people who will actually work at a gas station because it's such a, you know, meaningless fucking job.
At least he's got a job, right?
It's a job for, you know, somebody who has almost no skills. So, yeah, I'm going to shit all over you because you are a piece of shit. Have you looked in the mirror lately? You've been slandering and harassing my sweet lady. You deserve to get your teeth knocked out. This guy spends his whole fucking life harassing me and now my sweet lady. Fuck you, Cuts. You don't need to be breathing. You're a worthless piece of shit. And you're the reason I rant the way I do. There are a lot of worthless, sorry pieces of shit like you that don't need to exist. Even though these people are evil and sick, I don't really want to wish death on anybody. I don't think that's good karma. Indeed. It's just like, people like that don't need to exist, you guys. This is why, like, people try to make Hitler the bad guy. I mean, I don't think I've heard a world leader in my lifetime say anything more logical than supposedly what Hitler's so bad about. Wow. And I don't feel like a bad person at all for saying that. Have you looked out at society? There's a lot of Cuts ones in society. Just people that don't need to be here. Yeah, and exactly. My trolls will clip that. Oh, look how bad he is.
If the shoe fits.
Yeah, I'm talking about people like you trolls. Fucking losers. In terms of the way I see people financially compensated for what they do on YouTube, I'd say I'm the worst compensated person on all of YouTube if you measure by the quality and meaningfulness of the work. I mean, to me, that's a joke right there. That's a joke. I don't even want to hear that. It's just like, oh my God. Oh my God. I'd say I'm easily ranked at the very bottom. Easily dead last. Flat earthers. You think water can curve? Dude, I wish I could just fucking shoot you in your face, because I would. Wouldn't wish death on anybody, but... And I'd say, what are you going to do about it, Jesus? What are you going to do about Jesus? One more of your fucking retards is dead. And don't feel like I'm mocking God, because I'm not. I'm mocking bullshit. Like Jesus. This is why I hate fucking Christians. I fucking do, man. They're all fucking scumbags. All of them. They're fucking retarded and then acting like they're great because they believe in some bullshit, man. I'm fucking sick of religious people. Wipe them off the fucking face of the earth. We're coming up on one of the best lines I've ever heard in all of the world of comedy. Here we go. Listen, I don't do anything that I do for my own self-gain or reward. Good. And for all the assholes who'd question that, again, you're nothing but assholes.
Sure, Jan.
Now the Super Bowl's over, the support's fallen off again. People can't even stay for another month. Makes me sick. Makes me sick what a society of ungrateful fucking losers it is.
Like yourself.
There should be so many people supporting my work on Patreon.
I want what I am entitled to.
You're entitled to shit.
I shouldn't be here in the office another day. Should be out in Team Gematria bus with a team of employees getting the word out every fucking day. Instead we have all these sorry petty motherfuckers. Why would I support you, Zach? You're an asshole. Yeah, fair words. Fair words. Fuck you, loser. Again, some people cannot handle criticism. I'll tell you why I'm so angry right now, because I really am. I'm fucking angry.
Oh, but baby.
The reason I'm angry is because it's 2024, right? And my vision for what was going to be happening right now with this work and this movement at this period in time, somehow it totally, it just fell apart and diminished, and a bunch of weak people have fallen off and are not supporting, and it sucks. And again, his whole goal is to get people to not support me. Where the fuck is the support at? How are there way less people supporting the work now than back then? Are you a fucking retard? Let me ask you that. Are you a fucking retard? He is winning a lot of support from people who used to be great members of this community, and that goes to show you the power of video editing skills. He's very good at making videos, and everyone's got their hands in their pockets. Man, fuck you, sorry-ass motherfuckers. Everyone who fell off this work and doesn't support anymore, as far as I'm concerned, is a sorry-ass motherfucker.
Why am I toxic?
He's just sitting there screen recording, chop it up, make some video showing again what a big pussy he is for his fan base of fucking losers.
You all know exactly who I am. Say my name.
I mean, how many haters I have? I mean, if you hate me, you're a piece of shit, okay? Have you looked in the mirror lately? All of you guys who try to attack and frustrate me are worthless pieces of shit. And yes, I do wish death on you. Wouldn't wish death on anybody. And like being on a downward trajectory in terms of success and support and making things happen. They reap what they sow. No caller ID.
Hey, what's up, Zach?
Yeah, what's up?
I just wanted to say that last lady, she sounded kind of nice, so she might want to be careful putting your type of shit in her window coming from a hack and a liar like yourself.
So defend yourself, no caller ID. How am I a hack and a liar?
Well, all you got to do is go over to the best channel on YouTube, Sports Gematria, and
so how come he doesn't? Wait, hold on. He's a total fraud and a liar and a cheat with no balls who won't call into the show. So how could you support a guy who doesn't have the courage to call in here and all he does is chop up videos and mislead people?
that's just projection.
No, that's not projection. That's a fact.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Yeah, the best channel ever. Talk about a fucking reject. A guy whose whole life is dedicated to trolling me 24/7, 365.
You're actually the troll because you're trolling people. You're lying.
We're talking about that worthless of a piece of shit. Can I block him? No, he screen records everything, and then for the last 2 years, he has a YouTube channel chopping up my videos and misleading people. Dick-sucking, lying, kike fag. And there was a whole bunch of 96s with Elizabeth's death, which is why we predicted she'd die at 96 long before she did.
It only took 7 years after Zach's original Queen death prediction for him to finally get one right. Let's look at some of Zach's wrong Queen death predictions dating back to 2015. Keep in mind there's likely more, these were just the easiest ones to find.
And like I've said, even when the prediction's not dead on, it's not far off. And like I've said, even when the prediction's not dead on, it's not far off. And like I've said, even when the prediction's not dead on, it's not far off. And like I've said, even when the prediction's not dead on, it's not far off. This retard actually made a video making fun of when the Queen didn't die on May 20th, because I predicted that she would die May 20th that year. I predicted she was going to die May 20th, 2022 at age 96. All right, she didn't die on the exact day that I thought she was going to die, but I explained why she was going to die at age 96. So, again, for the troll who made the video, who probably works at Quantico, who has no life, is a total loser, prove that you have an ounce of dignity and go back and say Zach was right about the Queen being synced up with the NFL season and the numbers he said that would be connected to her death. Can you ever imagine calling in and repping this guy?
A few moments later.
Here, no caller IDs calling back in.
Something Sports Gematria.
Again, there's the troll network, right? It's a network of trolls.
You might be following someone who is just severely mentally ill. It sounds like it. All the evidence points to it.
I mean, I wonder how much my trolls get paid. Not enough. And where's the source of the payment? Are these taxpayer dollars at work? I think they are. I think that's the sad thing. Again, you just listen to it. It's like mental illness.
Yo, Greenblatt, what you're accusing Mark Passio of sounds just like you.
How's that?
Bullshit on the internet and never-ending grift 24/7.
Yeah, fair words. Fair words. So what do I do that's a grift? What do I do that's a grift? Hold on. Does Mark Passio have a platform?
Come to me.
Dumb fucker. Mark Passio doesn't host any platform for community like I've done for 5 years at a very expensive rate. Who gives a shit? Doesn't help anything. Mark Passio. Does Mark Passio host a website like freetofindtruth.com? No, he does not. So fuck off, sorry ass motherfucker. Again, some people cannot handle criticism. What is it, 559?
You're a pathetic piece of shit, dude.
What an incredible. Yeah, you're a troll in my channel. Take a look in the mirror. 978.
What's wrong with you, Zach? Come on, you're better than this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Calling people effing idiots and effing retards.
I don't think that's being carried away. I don't feel that's being carried away. If anyone wants to say I can't handle criticism, you'd be wrong. I handle criticism just fine as long as it's fair.
See, there's no reasoning with you. You cannot reason with you. You're always right, Zach.
I never said I'm always right. That's not true. How about shut the fuck up, morons? I'm not wrong about anything. I'm right about everything.
No, that's the vibe you give.
Maybe to you. You're a moron. I've been right about everything. If we can't fix the world, the close second that I'd also like to see in due time is just everybody perish, because they definitely deserve it. And I know that my whole life I've been a good Samaritan. I've always looked out for other people before I looked out for myself. A lot of people know that about me. So if you were watching my live stream yesterday, for a lot of people, it was probably the last live stream they watched. I lost a ton of support over this weekend for the rants I went on Saturday and Sunday. Pretty much spent 10 hours shooting myself in the foot with a lot of the support.
Gee, that's too bad.
Yeah, too bad. But yeah, hey, if there's any people who appreciated this weekend's streams and have never supported the work, you guys could jump in for the over 100 people who stopped supporting the work.
No, I'm good.
There's a lot of bad decoders who are starting to get traction. And all of these people have way too big of egos.
Ironic.
There's never been anyone more right who's walked on the face of this fucking earth than yours truly. Every last person in this world should be grateful for my existence, and are all making the work look god-awful. Living waters! Dude, you're a fucking retard, Joseph. You're a fucking retard, sir. Again, to me, I'm all about Jesus' teaching of the golden rule. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. And now they're all shouting each other out. Yeah, Cody, he's awesome. Another wrong prediction. Another whack-ass decode where he was super excited about it. Honestly, if all three of you are watching, I wish you would all quit, because you make the work look like dog shit, okay? Go back and get a 9-to-5, dumbass, because you're a fucking retard. I don't like to be mean to people either. Hey, here's what really concerns me. The videos of Joseph Aquaviva and Cody are getting as many views as mine now. That's a problem. That's a problem. Really bad work should not be getting more views than mine or as many views as mine. That's bad. And by the way, fuck you to the fucking retards who left my Patreon this weekend, because you subscribe more to fucking retards and their retarded beliefs than supporting the person who already doesn't have enough support. Literally, fuck all of you too.
Why am I toxic?
I know Angel Baby, who's an agent who I think poisoned me when—
What the fuck?
So, I mean, we could be actually watching a mentally ill lunatic. She came out to Buffalo with her big fat ass when I asked her not to. She gave me this concoction. She's like, take this, it's for your immune system. Next thing I know, I'm fucking dying. She went to Uvalde and said it was real. You might be confused with a fat angel. Why are you picking on ladies? I mean, come on, man. Just stop it. My mom bought $1,000 worth of ivermectin. And I said, what the fuck are you doing? Like, she's begging me for money. I'm paying her bills. She's like, I just stockpiled on ivermectin. I'm like, Mom, you don't need money if you're going to waste $1,000 on ivermectin. What the fuck do you need that for? Joe Rogan, buy ivermectin. It was like that same week. Next thing I know, my mom's like, Zach, I just bought so much ivermectin. Zach, I'm drinking my piss. My mom watches too much bullshit. My mom doesn't respect my work, watches troll videos, gets influenced by trolls. My mom's drinking her own piss.
Damn right, 'cause tonight is bottoms up. Throw it on down.
Look at this fucking piece of shit on the screen. We can't look at this guy anymore. His fucking gap teeth. You would have thought Dre Day was rapping about you.
But ain't another hoe that I got to fuck with. Gap teeth in your mouth, so my dick's got to fit.
You should make cuts one. He could stick his dick right between your gap. You might like that also. What the fuck, man?
But another thing is, though, you got to admit, you watch all these other channels, everybody says, oh, I'm not a shill, I'm not a shill. And they say it with great conviction, just like you do.
But here, just, I'm going to stop you right here. Here, hold on. A shill misleads people. So you have to tell me where I've been misleading people. I'll tell you what, though, if this per month thing gets up to something like $10,000 a month, I'll hire a couple people. You know, then I can afford to have some employees. I'll hire Jonathan, you know. Right now, there's 10,787 coming in a month. That's more than I need for myself. That's why I'm paying $1,000 a month for a website. That's why I'm saving the rest of the money for a future cause, like getting a building and renovating it and being able to have the resources to put in the furniture that we can have to set up a, Gematria Effect news studio. This money is for the cause. If this money goes up to $30,000, I'm telling you guys, it's going to happen overnight. We're going to have the building. We're going to have people hired. It's going to make a huge difference. We can do a lot with $30,000 a month, but I am saying we hit $30,000, things will happen. Things will happen, and they'll happen fast, and you'll see it. I'm transparent. Just total grifter. And again, the most important teaching that Jesus gave, and so did many other spiritual figures, is the golden rule. Treat other people the way you want to be treated, which is absolutely how I operate. By the way, I find that to be one of the funniest lines I've ever heard. Again, I'm not going to say I'm anointed by God, but by far, number one, all time at this day and age of truth telling and exposing what's actually going on. Ego. Who are some people on YouTube that you've been listening to where you feel like, they've been giving you a lot of good information and they haven't misled you? Maybe there are some other people out there. So let's hear who those people are.
Like I listen to Jake the Asshole. I'm sure you're aware of it.
And he's a total troll, right? That's a flat earth retard who slanders me and lies about me and promotes my troll who's just been dedicated his whole life is just trolling me every day. So, I mean, you're talking about a human piece of shit. And he's also a pussy too, because he said 100 times that he won't come on here and debate because I won't let him talk. That's what he always says. When that's false, I always let anyone come on here and talk. Unless they just say just bullshit, then I cut them off. I'm not going to let somebody come on here and just say bullshit. But
why not? You do it all the time.
If they make fair points, then they can talk. Jake the Asshole the last 2 years has embarrassed himself with his NFL picks. Just everything about Jake the Asshole is embarrassing. So if you watch Jake the Asshole, now I'm already like, well, who am I talking to here? I mean, in my opinion, if you listen to Jake the Asshole, you're probably a fucking loser. I give literally a human piece of shit even ratings.
That's a question that all of Zach's viewers should be asking themselves.
He says, Zach, you have to make it clear to your detractors that your platform isn't necessarily for sports predictions. It's about educating the masses about the science of Gematria. That's where some of the confusion comes in. I mean, I feel like at least 80% of the work is not about sports. At least 80%. So, again, you have to understand why my trolls are most worried about the sports. It's because the trolls are employed by the casinos, the bookies, the leagues. Sounds like a mental illness, because out of all the things that I do, that's the one place where I'm hurting their pocketbook. Do you know how much money I pulled out of the casino's pockets? I guarantee you it's in the hundreds of millions of dollars. What's up, 407?
Subscribe to Sports Gematria.
Yeah, okay. How come you, again, why do you think he doesn't call in here? Oh, he hung up. No answer.
How about you do some fun, happy decodes once in a while?
I thought this was a pretty fun, happy decode. We made fun of a total fucking loser. People got a lot of laughs in. Somebody said earlier in the chat, they're like, are you serious that Angel poisoned you? I think there's a good chance that she did. She gave me some concoction that she said would be really good for my immune system. I never got more sick in my life. Like, I literally felt like I was dying. And it would all make sense. And it's crazy. I mean, it's like I've never seen such mental illness. 360?
Zach,
Yeah?
I just got to say, I love what you do, man.
Well, thank you.
I love what you do because Sports Gematria can take what you do and make awesome videos out of what you do, which is lying and spreading bullshit.
Look at all these fucking losers calling in, recommending, like, literally, oh, I mean, there's no other way to put it. Like, literally a worthless fucking faggot.
Why am I toxic?
Like, do we need to put his picture up again? And again, the trolls took down the video. The one time him and I were on a stream together, it was on a trolls channel where I called in and they let me on, and they had to take the video down because little fucking faggot got owned.
Who uses the word owned in their 40s? You're such a fucking little kid. Just
like, this is really what these people look like, you guys. This is the guy who runs the Sports Gematria channel. But anyway, yeah, these people do make me irate because they're worthless fucking pieces of shit. They're totally disingenuous, sitting there chopping up videos, being totally misleading.
Bullshit.
Again, it just gets annoying having to deal with all this shit.
Oh, boo-hoo. Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
Can you imagine being ridiculed by some worthless fucking faggot like this?
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Dance for me. I am your master. I am the puppet master.
And you can't get justice? Again, this guy literally deserves to have his head rolled off his shoulders. Wouldn't wish death on anybody, but do we have another troll calling in? 971.
Hey, what's up, Zach? Can you show us one single bet slip at all, ever? One?
Why do I need to show bet slips? I can show you 60,000 customers that have made a lot of money and changed their lives.
You naming them?
Yeah, are you naming?
Can you show us one single
I can show you hundreds of videos of correct future calls.
and Sports Gematria can...
Again, nothing but trolls calling in.
Oh, that's not trolls and haters. That's the people who are giving you the facts, and you don't like hearing it.
And Sports Gematria. Yeah, we worship Sports Gematria. We worship a fucking faggot. Yeah, let's call in and worship Sports Gematria, because we're a bunch of fucking faggots. All the calls are from Florida. That's what I'm noticing right now. The calls are all from Florida where Sports Gematria lives. It's like a network of trolls down there. Is it mental illness? Should we not pick on you because you're mentally ill and you come from a family of mentally ill people? The only way you're going to see me back out on the streets of America is if the support gets way back up. See how he said it's all about money? It takes resources to do things. That's why there needs to be more support. Again, this past weekend, my rants did cost me a lot more support.
Oh, no. Anyway.
If those people aren't out there, I don't know. I guess I'm fucked. Indeed. But yeah, for all of you guys who call in and rep this fag on the screen, again, if there is a God, fucking kill these people. Amen.
And I know that my whole life I've been a good Samaritan. I've always looked out for other people before I looked out for myself. A lot of people know that about me.
Ooh. I think a righteous God would kill these people. And I know it's not going to happen, just like how pretty much nobody's prayers are answered. But yeah, there's just way too many sacks of shit on the earth. I wish they all would fucking die.
I don't really want to wish death on anybody. I don't think that's good karma.
Would slander the greatest truth teller there ever was on the internet.
It's just their ego. They're all about their ego.
These people all need to perish from the earth. Wouldn't wish death on anybody, but Joseph Aquaviva, you're not a prophet. You're a fucking loser. You're a shitty, petty little man. You're a pathetic man.
You're really just talking about yourself.
For me to come in your chat this morning and write one fair statement and for you to immediately block me, that's what a fucking loser would do.
Boy, if that isn't the pot calling the kettle black.
I get tired of you guys reading your comments. Oh, Zach's about free speech, but his mods block a lot of people. Yeah, they block morons that we don't need to hear from. I'm not into the free speech of morons. See, when I block trolls in my chat, it's because they're spamming bullshit.
Sure, Jan.
What I wrote to you was 100% true, and you just blocked it. What an incredible... Yeah, and the other thing that came out of that was that one girl came out there. She was the one interviewing me in the video he copied. And then that's also the way the world is too, right? She didn't come out there because she really cared about Gematria. She came out there because she thought I was cute. And, you know, she thought she'd be a better fit for me than Sweet Lady. And even my own mom, my mom came out that day. My mom wanted to be there because it's my birthday. Mom's like, you should go with her. She actually likes Gematria. I was like, Mom, what is wrong with you?
You guys, I don't want to make fun of people because of the way they appear.
My mom liked Allie, the one with the tattoo. That Allie girl, if you don't know, she's got like a big tattoo right here. That's not attractive to me. I can't date a girl that has a big tattoo on her chest. Dude, you're an asshole, Mom. You're literally a piece of shit, dude. But yeah, it's just, people just got wrong intentions all the time, man. It's like, don't pretend to be about Gematria because you want to get in somebody's pants. That's not right.
Oh, brother.
They really just bait. You saw how Zach had that like Hitler rant after. What they do is they like trigger Zach so much with like a retard that they're praying he says stuff like that, and then they just record it.
And a lot of you guys are listening to people who are nutcases.
And then like the really dumb people like Chigozi can fall for that clip. Like say he was on vacation this week and then came back next week and watches like an edited clip from a troll, which is like, it's just so stupid the guy is. Like, how are you falling for that?
You're the same guy writing Skull and Bones, right?
Exactly.
You are a disgrace to this community.
And again, also just for all the people in America that are just like, oh my God, you can't make any excuses for the nut. Just stop. If you've never listened to what Hitler said yourself, go back and listen to his speeches and see if he was all wrong. I think you look at the world today, you might be like, damn, he had a... Maybe we need him to come back. What the fuck, man? Support this damn work so we can make some real shit happen. Do you understand why shit's not happening?
Yeah, because of you.
Not enough people are supporting.
Money, it's always about the money.
And for anyone out there who supports losers like Joseph Living Waters, what are you doing? Why do you support the clone trash piece of shit human being who steals my work, claims it for his, and slanders me? That's a person who, their body should be decomposing 6 feet underground. Wouldn't wish death on anybody, but we don't need frauds in the community.
It's ironic.
From when they did this Hank Aaron ritual yesterday, it was exactly 1131 days after his death. And the word black power in Jewish gematria equals 1131. So they do this Hank Aaron ritual 1131 days after he died. Black power equals 1131. Of course, Atlanta, a black Mecca. But of course, black equals 11, and 31 is the 11th prime. So just a perfect numerical value.
That person might have a mental illness. Joey, I just gotta stop. I feel like, I just like, all of your decodes are just way over the top. Every connection just like, I'm not so sure. I mean, it's just, Hank Aaron didn't do any black power tributes. I mean, it's just...
Hank Aaron, bro, you say the dumbest shit. Like, I gotta say that.
Oh boy, here we go.
I do? Joey, get a clue, Joey. Nobody likes your decodes. And none of that was convincing. Guess what? Now you don't call in anymore. Yeah, Joey, I mean, get a clue. I'm not a fan of your work. I feel like you make the work look bad. I'm talking about bad decoders in the community. I'd put you right on the list. Indeed.
Also, so that Joey guy who was calling in earlier, honestly, Zach, I think the guy was honestly a long time troll, because it's like, you've called him out so many times, and yet he keeps saying the most retarded decodes. So it's like,
it's either that or like, because like he'll call me up and like he'll call me in my personal life and be like, Zach, I want a girlfriend, but I also want to live at my mom's house. So what should I do? And I'm like, well, it'd probably help if you didn't live at your mom's house since you're in your 30s. He's like, yeah, but I don't want to get a job. And I'm just like, is this a fucking real... So, yeah, I mean, he might have been a troll this whole time. 'Cause I'm having a financial nightmare in my own personal life, and it's because Sweet Lady and I did a decision, and the people that we did the decision with weren't honest with us, and there was a ticking time bomb in the deal that they didn't tell us about. And it started off as a small nightmare, and then it got to a bigger nightmare, and it's grown into this crazy nightmare. And I'm just like, God, dishonest people, man.
Tell me about it.
It's just like, Ugh. 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 It's just sad that people can be so dishonest, man.
Have you looked in the mirror lately?
It's making funds a little bit tight around here. But right now, there's a guy who lives in Northern California who's being impacted by this storm. And this morning, he's, calling me a fraud and a shill, and he's gloating that he's registered Wake the Fuck Up Radio on all these platforms, so I can't do it. And I'm annoyed because I'm like, oh, God, this could be a problem. And he's just doing it just to be an asshole. On this day, instead of helping share the knowledge, on a day where you're literally being impacted by it, you're spending your day indoors trying to sabotage the new radio program I plan to put in place. Again, this is what's wrong with the world, you guys. I really do hope this podcast brings in the audience and the resources to make some of the dreams come true, like the dreams I have. An actual studio where, there's a core group of people who work together each day to put this content out in a better way. We got a video editor there, we got some clever people, we got artists.
I feel like I've heard this story before.
I'll tell you what, though, if this per month thing gets up to something like $10,000 a month, I'll hire a couple people. Then I can afford to have some employees. I'll hire Jonathan, Right now, there's 10,787 coming in a month. That's more than I need for myself. That's why I'm paying $1,000 a month for a website. That's why I'm saving the rest of the money for a future cause, like getting a building and renovating it and being able to have the resources to put in the furniture that we can have to set up a, Gematria Effect news studio. This money is for the cause. If this money goes up to $30,000, I'm telling you guys, it's going to happen overnight. We're going to have the building. We're going to have people hired. It's going to make a huge difference. We can do a lot with $30,000 a month, but I am saying we hit $30,000, things will happen. Things will happen, and they'll happen fast, and you'll see it. I'm transparent. Fuck you for supporting me.
Flashback.
Again, you guys, I do want like a $1 million sum of cash in the bank before I start Gematria Effect News.
And we're closer to that dream than you guys know. Again, there's certain things that I'm not sharing because then the trolls would be out trying to sabotage things. But things are expensive, you guys. Things are very expensive. Like one of these things I'm trying to do, there was something. It's a story for another time. But
That's all, folks.
till next time, Truth Seeker.